Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Recipe for Adventure. My name is Freebie Wits, and as always, joining us today is my dear friend Sai. Sai, say hello.
Goodbye, everybody.
Damn it! That is literally the opposite. That is the opposite of what I asked. You didn't even try to say hello adjacent items. This was the exact unthing that I wanted on the
Yes.
on the 20th episode of
Yeah.
a
Gotta be
TTRP.
special.
I guess so. I mean, look, it's the 20th episode. I was hoping to roll natural 20, but it turns out it was a natural one, which kind of leads me into the question of the day. So last week I asked, what was the one thing you did as a dungeon master that you regretted? Wait, no, I said wait, did I say dungeon master last time, or did I specify anything?
I think you specified anything.
Oh no, that's right, because you mentioned your monk character. Oh
Yeah.
no, my question is no longer relevant. Oh no, and I haven't had time to think of another one. Sai, do you have a question by any chance?
Okay. Um. Well then, let's go kind of a bit interesting and vague. Like D&D Fifth Edition has a bunch of classes,
Yeah?
but it doesn't quite fit everything.
No.
What is a kind of class identity you wish was in D&D as it is now?
Oh, a non-magical intelligence character. As in, like, the guy who knows everything, the smart character, basically, that's not specifically magical. You know,
Yeah.
the analyst, the scholar, that sort of thing.
Technically, there is a subclass which emulates that.
Like the
For
rogue.
rogue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
Inquisitive
so.
rogue.
Inquisitive rogue, I suppose so. And I suppose you could, like, sort of fluff any other class any other way to do this sort of thing, but like, you can't really do it from level 1 is my point, whereas a lot of other
No.
class archetypes you can, to a degree, with
Yeah.
varying levels of success, mind you, I suppose. That's the only one I can think of. Oh, actually no, there is another one. The Carmen Rider. You don't, I
Yeah.
mean, you've got the Barbarian, who has two modes, non-raging and raging, and you can fluff it anytime you want. You've got warlocks who can summon up a dread form. You've got druids and wizards and sorcerers who have concentration spells that target themselves and wild shaping. But I don't know if there's any specific character that transforms and gets more powerful overall, and that's their entire gimmick besides druids and their wild shaping.
Yeah, as an individual class,
Yeah.
barbarian is the closest you got to that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Subclass wise, you might be able to get away a bit better.
I mean, I guess it's not a fantasy-esque thing per se, and that's why it's not included, because D&D is primarily, well, fantasy based, and Kamen Rider not so much. For those of you who don't know, think Power Rangers, if that makes more sense to you. But that's the only other class I can really think of off the top of my head. There's been tons of gunslinger variants. Literally, the most famous one being in Critical Role, for example. Are there any classes that specialize in crossbows and such like that?
A class that specializes in crossbow?
I mean,
No.
I suppose there aren't many specific classes specific with weapons. I mean, you can think of them, like arcane archers with archers. That's the closest one. I suppose when people think of barbarian, they think big great axe, but there's nothing stopping a barbarian from having a great sword or dual wielding hand axes and such like that.
I want to at some point in time do a barbarian with a knife.
Just big stabby.
Not even a big knife, just a small regular knife.
big, small, regular. Did I tell you I used to have a barbarian halfling named Redib Elkner, and spelt
Mm.
backwards, it was ankle biter, and he got pissed off at everyone who called him short. And his main weapon was a battering ram.
Yeah, I remember you telling me stories about him.
He was fun. Okay. So what for you is a class or archetype or character type that's not really supported in D&D 5e?
Yeah, like I'll go with something kind of like what you did, where it's like there's technically like a subclass sort of equivalency to it.
But you sort of have
Um,
to like really twist the system, eh?
yeah, it's like um, one of the classes that I really loved from fourth edition D&D was the Warlord,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
This,
they are basically a tactician.
mm,
They can fight, but they are more of a leader, a guider. They they fight alongside their compatriots
they're
by
like
helping their compatriots fight.
they're essentially non-magical buffers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you can like you can like shout at your like companions to make them attack instead of yourself. You
Mm-mm-mm.
can like heal them through like you know encouraging words or just yelling at them to get the hell back up because
Mm-mm.
they're not done fighting yet. That type of stuff.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
but yeah, the warlord was a non-magical support class where it was like the fantasy is like the officer and like of an army who shouts commands or like the leader of like a squad
I was about to say
who like
it felt more
yeah
like the power of friendship type character sometimes
yeah
to me.
yeah a warlord was very rarely like great by themselves,
Mm-mm-mm.
but with allies who they could depend upon,
You could just make a
they could
windmill of death.
they could do so much. And like the fighter battlemaster has a couple of things that are very like warlord flavorful. Like the battlemaster can make someone else attack, for example.
Mm-mm-mm.
Like yeah, that's a very big like um warlord type thing. But I would love that archetype to be fully like properly explored, like whether it's just like calling it like the tactician or something, or
If I remember
the warlord.
correctly, the what was it? The battle master, the fighter battle master has a few
Yeah, it has a
maneuvers.
few. There's a few maneuvers that like affect other people.
Here we go. Commander strike. You basically
Yeah.
make an attack action. You forgo one of your attack actions and use a bonus
Mhm.
action to direct one of your commands to strike. You've got the rally ability.
Yeah.
Use a bonus
Commander
action
Strike is literally taken from
for,
fourth
4E.
edition Warlord. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
So as I said, like the Battlemaster got some of it, but I would like it to be like less of a tack on like
You get a
option
few of
for the
these
fighter
things. I kind of
and more fleshed out as its full-on class.
did they ever like in the errata or extra stuff give more battle master maneuvers? Because I'm pretty sure they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they. I can't remember if it was Tash's Cauldron. I think it's Tash's Cauldron, which
I would
added a
not be
couple more.
surprised. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but no, Battlemaster did get some extras.
I'm a bit sad that like, and that's the thing I'm a bit disappointed in, and it's like very understandable that in every like extra book and such, there's always extra spells and abilities, for the spellcasters. But when it comes to the non-magical people, it's like, hey, you get a bunch of new subclasses or feats, but then all the casters also get subclasses and feats, and then the spells on top of that as well,
Yeah,
which have always been a bit disappointing. I'm actually opening up Xanathar's Guide to Everything right now. I'm just checking if fighters get anything extra, and as far as I can tell, just skimming through it, I don't think so, unless I missed it or something like that, which is entirely possible. But yeah, I don't see anything. Spell casting, sleep falling, spells. Yeah, it's just fight like non-martial classes just seem to get the short end of the stick in this in terms of options at the very least.
yeah, a new weapon type or two, or magical weapons for the fighters to use, right?
I do feel that they do get like new magical weapons at the very least, but
It feels more of a magical weapons feel a lot more tacked on.
did,
It's like it's like here's Erebon, Eberron. Here's
Eberron.
Eberron, and here's some magical items from this setting. It's like, okay, cool. This wasn't like a character thing. This was just here's some cool magical weapons from Eberron.
Hmm. Uh, 5e, I feel compared to 3.5 at least. I, as much as I like 4e, I don't remember its equipment as much. But in 3.5 compared to 5e at the very least, I feel that they tried to simplify things. I don't think that's a
No,
outrageous take, right?
yeah, fifth edition wanted to simplify things to make the barrier to entry a lot easier for people.
And in some cases, I think what they did was good because 3.5 had like 20 flavors of big stick with pointy end on it, and
Yep.
like a good 30% of them did the exact same thing. Another 30% did the exact same thing with a different name, and so on and so forth. That was basically it felt like that was what was the case for 3.5 with a lot of the weapons. And then 5e was like, let's just call this the long spear, or let's just call this the long sword and just stick with that. And then you had the scimitar, short sword, yada yada. They shrank down on that a bit, which
It's
I
done
appreciated.
that, yeah, it's done that almost perfectly, except for one thing.
Is this the
The
shield?
glaive, no, the glaive and the halberd. They're the
Glaive?
exact same weapon.
Or is that still a thing in the player's handbook?
Yeah, the glaive and the halberd are the exact same weapon.
Wait, really? Like, there's
Yes,
no. Okay, hang on. Let
there's
me.
no mechanical difference. The
Wait.
halberd should have like something to differentiate itself from just the regular glaive.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. That can't be right. Okay, are they both considered martial weapons? Not one of them's considered.
Yep,
Okay, glaive. Okay, 20 GP, 1d10 slashing, 6 pounds heavy, reach two-handed. And what was the one? Halberd. 20
yep.
GP, 1d10 slashing, 6 pounds heavy, reach two. What the hell?
Yeah, that one. That's one where like everyone who started is like the halberd should have like something about like tripping or the ability to be both slashing or piercing, right?
And the glaive could just have something that's like when mounted, it can be a one-handed weapon, much like the
A lance.
lance. Yeah, I believe the lance has that rule, doesn't it? Special.
Uh, yeah, lance has some cool stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the lance specifically says that it can be used as a. Here we go. You have disadvantage when you use lance to attack at a target within 5 feet of you. Also, a lance requires two hands of wheel if you when you aren't mounted, so you can have it as a one-handed weapon as a D12 piercing thing. So yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yeah, so why can't they do that with the glaive? Because that's like the freaking like what do you call it? Guan Yu fantasy. Like you're on a big
Yeah,
horse, you have a glaive, one handing it, kicking ass that way.
yeah,
That is frustrating to read. Um,
yeah. It's like they simplified a little bit too much,
in some cases, and then
and then couldn't differentiate. Like,
it's
because the
like
halberd deserves to have another feature, but the way that fifth edition weapons are designed is basically positives and negatives. For
mm,
every positive a weapon has, it goes down one die of damage from a d8 to a d6 to a d4.
why can't they
For
do what
every
they?
negative it has, it goes up a die.
Why couldn't they treat it like armor in the sense that like ring mail is like physically speaking. I mean, wait, no. Splint mail is just in just about every way not as good as plate mail, except in cost. It's way cheaper. So you're forced to use splint mail until you can afford the plate mail, which is better in just about every other case, right?
Yeah,
And
I think
yeah.
the only difference is like weight. I believe you need to have 15 strength for plate,
No,
whereas
no,
only 13 for splint.
no. It's 15 for splint and plate. The only
Oh,
difference is
okay.
plate is 5 pounds heavier. I, oh, and that's the thing I was going to mention. Shield. The fact that there's no small shield, buckler shield, and like no tower shield, I'm a bit sad by. I miss the idea of having a tower shield. I still remember how dumb it was in 3.5. How the
Rules
ruling,
is written.
yeah, rules
Yep.
unwritten was so dumb, and I loved every second of it. Like, no DM would let you get away with it. But the rule, if I remember, I don't have the wording in front of me, but basically it said if you have the tower shield on you, you can choose to hide behind it, and it would conceal everything like you're
They
wielding
conceal
and
you
yourself.
entirely.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
conceal you entirely, which, obviously what the rule makers intended was you could hide behind your shield and the enemy couldn't see you because you're behind the shield. However, rules as written, it also included things you wielded, and you wielded
Such
the
as the shield.
tower shield. So, rules as written, when you hide behind the tower shield would disappear as well.
Yes, that is very much one of the most foremost cases for rules as intended over rules as written.
Right, it was so dumb, and oh, I loved it so much. Like, I don't think there's any table where they, unless it was a specific joke and such like that, no
Yeah,
table in the world would let you pull that.
there are some very big like rules as written sticklers.
Mm, mm,
So there
mm,
might have been a couple, but yeah, it's definitely one of the cases where it's like, no, this is not how this is meant to work.
mm. Oh, and I remember, like, another rules as written thing that a lot of people, I think, just went with because it was a cool idea was Ranger in 3.5 had a favorite enemy, just like they do now. But they had the little caveat of you can't be your favorite enemy. So if you were a half orc, you couldn't choose half orcs as your favorite enemy. 5e seemed to have changed that. Um, and rules as written, it also meant if you choose werewolves or vampires as your favorite enemy, if they bite you, you just flat out can't turn into them. Which I think a lot of DMs just said, that's a cool bit of flavor. Okay, we'll keep it, even though that's not what was intended.
As a cool flavor for a ranger, yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's like an anti-vampire specialist ain't getting turned into a vampire. No shot.
Yeah, yeah, I really like that. Though, once again, even though it wasn't as intended, I think like a lot of DMs, that's the difference between the Tower Shield and Rangers.
Yeah,
All right, we've talked enough about old editions and their rules, and I appreciate you coming up with a question because I screwed the pooch on that one. What are we doing now? We look like we're a bunch of
yeah,
adventurers fighting a Sawagan champion.
yeah. Because if you remember from last time, we came up with a trial,
Hmm.
which is based upon the Sahagins' understanding of their own bloodlust,
Yep, yep, yep. They
where it's a battle where you are to not kill your opponent.
they're very what's the word? They're very proud of the fact that they don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're very proud of their own personal restraint.
Mm-mm-mm.
Or like I imagine that they do use it tactically,
Mm-mm-mm. Like when they
but
need
their
to.
ability, yeah, but their ability to not just be dominated by it
We
is their
will
pride.
we will use the bloodlust. The bloodlust does not use us.
Exactly.
Well, yes,
So
nothing
yeah,
like that.
so yeah, we have a battle. We have one champion and a couple of extra Sahagins. I imagine the numbers should be pretty simple. The
Mm-mm.
one champion, and then a number of just regular Sahagin equal to the
The
I'd
players
say
in
like
the party.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, to fill out the party. So there should be four Sahagins, including the champion, if there are four party members. Because the regular Sahagin should be a relative easy-ish for a little three party to beat one on one. I feel at this point. Actually, let me have a look. Because another way I can kind of judge strength, right, is a Sagan warrior is like one and one half. Not one and one half. What am I saying? Is one half for strength.
Yeah, so I mean,
Um,
so essentially this means the more players there are, the
hmm,
easier time will this be because they're just fleshing out their Swagan party with just warriors that each player can probably take like a
Yeah.
few of on their own, essentially, almost.
Yeah. Um. So you challenge rating 1/2. That is like 2 tiers up in terms of like danger level because it's like 1/8, 1/4, 1/2.
Yeah.
So sometimes you could say like it's roughly equivalent to a level 3 character.
So, like, how many Swagan warriors specifically would you need to take on
Yeah.
one level 3 player, would you say?
Well, it really depends on the character, right?
Yeah.
I think at challenge rating 1/2, I would like to say that usually I would gun for just like one of these guys is roughly equivalent to the power, or I should say, is slightly weaker
Hmm.
than a level 3 character.
Okay,
But
okay,
but it is on a slight weaker scale.
okay, okay.
So, for example, a Sargon might be able to maul a wizard to death. The chances are the barbarian is probably going to curb stomp him.
Hmm. I mean, a wizard with a sleep spell can just stop them.
Well, yeah, we'll be able to put one out easy.
Wait, what's
So that
that's level 3 sleep spell? Let me look it up right now. HIJKL.
well, they'd be casting it at level 2 potentially.
So they 5d8. So that's what 20
Yeah,
on average at level 1, and for each level above, an extra 2d8. So uh, that's 28 hit points on average, assuming
yeah,
they roll exactly average.
yeah. If they
Okay.
cast a level 2 sleep, they're very likely to just insta make one of the Sargon fall asleep,
Okay.
which would
Okay.
be an instant victory for like them in a 1v1.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily a 1v1,
No.
but it's good to kind of try to balance things out on a one
It'll
versus one scale.
it'll lock them out of the fight
Yeah,
essentially. And a level 3 barbarian. Let me just think. Would have, assuming like 14 Constitution, 24 plus 6, so roughly 30 or so hit points. So they can definitely take a Swagan 1-on-1 easily with
yeah,
support.
yeah. So I think like it should be fine.
This does seem like
If
a
you
tough fight the more I think about it. Like,
this is a tough fight. If we want to make this slightly more like fair for the party,
yeah.
I would treat the champion as equivalent to 2. So for a party of 4, it'd be the champion plus 2 of the Sargon followers. Because realistically speaking, he is a level 3 character by himself, or a challenge rating 3 creature by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he is definitely like he is roughly equivalent to a level 3 party
Mm-mm.
by himself.
Okay.
So
I might
um
have to word that then. Um,
yeah. So yeah, I think instead of doing it like I initially said, I think treating him as worth of like 2 creatures
so
is definitely worth more.
if
Yeah.
it's a party of like 2 to 3 adventurers, it'll just be the guy
Yeah.
on his own.
Yeah.
Um, against a party of 1 to 3 adventurers, the Sahagun champion will face them alone against a part for each adventurer above that. Add in a Sahagan warrior as a direct participant. Okay,
Okay,
I think the
that
wording
might
is
be
okay.
that might be a bit more balanced.
Bit
Yeah.
easier because do
Yeah.
we want to have a what if the players fail here, because failure is an
Yes.
option and they
I
won't
was
die.
actually considering that. Yeah.
We haven't done something like that in a while, so
Well, this is not a fight to the death.
no, no, no.
So if I think that should the party lose,
Yeah.
they will have to prove themselves a different way.
Mm, 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 mm. Or like maybe not even the. Hmm. I'm just thinking. So if they succeed, the isolationists will tell the party about the pirates, right?
Yeah.
Could they even like give the players support somehow? Like show them directly where it is. But without that support, the priestess is like, hey, I heard they have problems with pirates and stuff like that. I don't
Hmm.
know where they are, but they exist. And the players will have to like,
Actually, actively search.
yeah, and try to
Yeah,
find it. Exactly.
and might bump into a random encounter.
Exactly. So they're still trying to solve the problem. It's just they have less direction
Hmm.
to go off if they fail this
Yeah,
proving.
yeah.
So,
No, I think I like that as an idea. Nothing too punishing, but additional risk on the journey to
mm-mm.
defeat the pirates.
Okay. I'm just gonna put that in. If the players fail and are defeated, the priestess will comfort the players and tell them that there's another way to gain their trust. That they are beset by pirate land walkers, and if the players can find them, it might solve their issues. However, only the ice. However, the players must try to track them down themselves. Uh, if the players succeed and defeat the champion, isolationists will begrudgingly reveal the location of the pirate cove and ask that the players deal with these land walkers. Okay, so I think we should deal with option number 2 first. Uh, players track down the pirates themselves.
Yeah.
So go to IX. So you're mentioning like random encounters. So what would that be? Would that be pirates at sea, or would we have something at sea specifically without the pirates? Do you have a map of the sea without the pirates?
I mean, well, we're on it right now.
Oh, the Rainbow Shield. I kind of want to keep the Rainbow
Yeah.
Shield separate from the rest of the sea because it feels like a special location where all the coral
Yeah.
is. I kind of want a separate sea area that's devoid of like
Well,
the nice coral,
well,
basically.
how about we do it this way? Because I have the Pirateless Cove, the Pirate Cove, and the Pirates at Sea, right?
Yeah.
What if we get the Sahagins' help, we arrive with the pirates at the cove? Because the Sahagin helped make sure the pirates can't leave.
Okay, so we'll skip
If you
I.
do it by yourself, yeah, if you do it by yourself, you will get to the cove, and the cove won't have the pirates there. You'll have to potentially fight something at the Pirateless Cove, and
Okay.
we'll eventually see them out at sea, and we'll have to make your way over to them out
So
at sea.
so we'll work on X then, which is I guess 10. Um. So
Mm-hmm.
So would the isolationists like help in combat, or would they just point the players to them, like more directly and
Well,
quickly?
yeah, I think what the isolationists will do is point them in the right direction, as well as block the pirates' escape.
Oh, I like that. So they don't
So the
have.
pirate, so,
So we don't
yeah,
have
so
to
the pirates are
mess with
trapped
like
in the cove.
mm. I would
Yeah,
also say from a mechanical standpoint, we won't have to have them like fight on screen and manage like a million like different
yeah,
game pieces. Working with the isolationists, the players will attack the pirates in the cove, while the Sahagan, I always misspell Sahagan, while the Sahagan surround the area to prevent, actually not even surround the area, block their escape paths.
yep.
Okay.
And then we can work on the pirate fight.
Yep. So what's this map actually called? Pirate Cove. Okay.
Yeah, because I've got the Pirate
To
Cove, the
the
Pirateless Cove, and Pirates at Sea.
move to the map.
And so, yeah, if we get the Sargon's help, we will go to the Pirate Cove map.
Excellent. And essentially deal with less pirates.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I want to hang on. Something in the Piratless Cove I want to grab. No, it's not here. No, that's okay. Is it in Pirates at Sea? Yes, yes it is. Hehe. Give me a second. Control C. Pirate Cove. Control V. Beautiful. Maybe not over there. Boom. Alright, there are the players at the bottom left. Just in their little rowboat. Or whatever vessel they chose. Alright, so do pirates have a specific like what do you call it? Stat line, or are they just considered like
So, by the earlier versions of 5th edition,
yeah.
they are basically just reskin bandits. Nice, simple, really easy for us.
Yeah.
The updated rules that came out recently did give pirates an updated stat block and made them a hell of a lot stronger.
Oh. Because I've got deckhands and swashbuckler archers, but they could look kind of like they're bare feet and dirty. So like, what do the pirates in your thing look like? If you have them.
I do have some pirate tokens. So these are technically for the new pirates.
Oh,
Pirates
wow,
Pirate
33 hit points. That's 84.
They are a lot stronger than the regular bandits.
We may not want to use them.
Yeah. So in that case, what I would suggest is we go and we do the age-old time tradition of just reskinning bandits, maybe adjust a stat block here and there, and basically, So, for example, the bandits have a light crossbow, right?
Yeah, I think we have a swashbuckler
I-
character with a crossbow. It's literally called a swashbuckler, I'm pretty sure.
Swashbuckler. Yeah.
Just gonna find him.
So. Oh.
Oh, you found something?
I'm looking. Yeah, I have a swashbuckler. Thanks to Dragon Heist.
Oh.
So.
Oh god, he's got 66 hit points. What the hell? Yeah, no, we're not throwing this guy at them.
This guy could make for a good captain.
What's his CR?
The boss. So his CR is 3.
Okay, so yeah, he's pretty tough. Yeah. Dash or disengage.
He's pretty tough.
He's got quite a bit of AC. Jeez, he's gonna be tough to hit at that level. Multi-attack. Ooh.
Yes, he is. 1 with a dagger, 2 with a rapier. He is a pretty strong warrior by his own regards. But that's the thing, right? he doesn't have to turn up immediately.
No.
So, for example, he could be, below cover, or he could be one of those captains who's like, "Why would I do it myself? I've got you gullets to do it for me," and only steps in after the party have defeated the rest of the pirates first.
Do we want to give him a name?
Well, I think that's only appropriate.
Where the heck did I get the deckhand from? Because I swear they were one of the free guys from like
Probably.
Okay, that's really weird. Unless it's specifically in tokens.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Either way, I've got, as you can see, I've got the archer and I've got like a poor little deckhand over there. He's got a little knife.
Mm-hmm.
He's not much of a fighter, as you can see. He's very weak.
Yep. So what I've done is literally, as you literally describe him being weak, I am literally adjusting a bandit stat block. To have a dagger instead of the regular weapons, and taking off the light crossbow, and just make sure I've got that all nice and renamed. Pirate deckhand, pretty weak, pretty fragile, and I can now just attribute it to pirate deckhand. And let's give you stats. So 12 and 11, 11 is what he has for the time being. Update default token.
Also adding some rope ladders on the side as well.
Yeah. So, the pirate deckhand is pretty weak. So, I think the crossbow guy should be a little bit stronger. I think just to balance it out slightly. So rather than a light crossbow, I think maybe upgrading him to a heavy crossbow.
Oh yeah.
And do you reckon he should have like a cutlass or something, or maybe a knife of his own, just in case they're in melee?
Yeah, a knife would be good.
Cool. So heavy crossbow. That puts you up to a D10 damage. Call him like a pirate sniper, sharpshooter?
Yeah, pirate sharpshooter.
Cool. Since we are calling him a sharpshooter, I think it's only appropriate that I upgrade their stats slightly. I won't upgrade their health, but the regular bandit has like 12 dex. I'm thinking of upgrading him to 14, giving him effectively like +2 to their damage and a total of +4 to hit. Which I think is fine, right?
I think it's fine. I've got an idea that I'm trying to do, but I'm not sure if the current map assets support any of it. Maybe this would work. How do you spell mast, anyways?
MAST.
Really? That's it?
Yep. You're talking about a mast on a boat?
Yeah. Doesn't look like I've got anything.
Yeah, the only reason I do not have cool shadows or like the mast over top is because I actually needed Dungeon Draft, which I use, can only do 2 layers of stuff.
Oh.
And I used one of those layers for the cool water that you can see through.
That's a shame. That's okay. We don't need that. Okay. In that case, we might have to mention that there are... Okay, so as like terrain features, there are ropes hanging down from the mast and various sails across the ship that can be used to swing to and from different locations as a move action. Ignoring height, ignoring terrain and height in some cases. As appropriate, actually. Height as appropriate. If you're going to have a pirate battle on a ship, you're going to have swinging ropes. Right? Like,
I mean, that does sound pretty cool.
What other features do we want? Do we want the pirates to even know what's going on to begin with?
If we are catching them in this position, I would like to think that we are potentially catching them slightly off guard.
Okay. I like that.
But that's because they're being in like the Cove at rest, right?
Oh, what if we have them all drunk?
Ooh.
Because they've just, like, the isolationists will say, it's like, we think they're starting to drink now. Like, normally when we try to get them, they escape every time and find a new cove. But this time with you guys, we can block off the escape while you guys deal with them. So,
Thoughts. Them being drunk, how about we give them temporary hit points, but they have disadvantage on their attacks?
Oh, yeah. So they're actually not even temporary hit points, but make them have advantage against fear and intimidation.
I'm not sure. I feel like the disadvantage on attacks is going to be way bigger of a downside compared to drinking.
I mean, that's the thing. We want to make this a bit easier because of what's going on with them.
I mean, yes, make it a bit easier, but this is also the scenario where we won the challenge.
Okay. No, you know what? You're right. We'll do it that way.
Well, actually, you know what? This scenario, we have to fight the captain with the crew because they're all drinking together.
Okay.
Whereas in other scenarios, we might have to fight the captain later and get the time to kind of focus on the minions first.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll add icons to show that they're all drunk. Okay, so what exactly are we doing for drunkenness exactly again? Because I'm going to update the character sheet for the swashbuckler and stuff like that. So what did we say drunk does to them?
Disadvantage on attack rolls.
Advantage on attacks. No advantages here. Just drunk on attack.
And you mentioned advantage on saving throws against fear effects and intimidation.
Against fear effects and intimidation. Wait, disadvantage on attacks and dexterity checks. There we go.
And do we end up giving the captain a name?
Not off the top of my head. But I do want to call him Captain something or other, even if it's a moniker, because he could be a returning character. It's like he's the one that gets away, but the rest of his crew and his ship does not. Open character sheet. I'll give them all drunk. First, while you think of a name.
How about Porthwell?
Porthwell.
Captain Porthwell.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. That rolls off the tongue. Porthwell.
There we go. I've added it to underneath his token.
Oh, Porthwell. I thought you said Horth.
Yep.
Alrighty, drunk. So if he tries to hit you with his knife, that's a 16 to hit. For example, this pirate deckhand tries to hit you with his dagger. That's a 16 again. Okay, they're rolling quite well, all things considered. This pirate sharpshooter, on the other hand, tries to shoot you. That's a 9. There we go. 11. They're still tough, but they're not exactly they don't exactly hit hard.
Yeah. Now, speaking of being tough, these guys aren't exactly tough per se either. They've got 11 hit points and 12 AC.
Mm-mm-mm. So we can scatter them around the ship and stuff like that and
Yeah,
not really worry
worry
too
too much.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want the cannons to do anything?
Um, I would imagine that they probably don't have the cannons ready in time.
Mm-mm-mm. I only ask because I can imagine the players wanting to do something with them.
I mean, yeah, wanting to do something with them makes sense, but
Like,
it's kind of hard to
like if I know player characters, they will want to loot them and take them with them.
because of course they do.
Do you want to just
Um,
remove the cannons completely, actually?
no,
No, you want to keep them?
no,
Okay, okay.
I think just slightly berate them and say no, or I can quickly whip up some cannon stats if you need.
I'm pretty sure the player's handbook have stats for cannons, because they have stats for, like... Oh, wait, no, that's a DMG, I'm pretty sure. Now that I think about it out loud. Because they have stats for, like, guns and laser weapons and whatnot.
So the cannon is a large object,
Yeah.
19 AC, 75 hit points, immune to poison and psychic for some reason. I don't know why. Um,
Can you copy paste that by any chance?
uh, yes.
Okay. Because I want them in the Slate Town Quests X section. I'm just gonna add a little table as like a little sidebar, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can like just add canon rules here, they're canon rules, and then just paste them there if you have them.
Yes, give me a sec.
There are also 4 unloaded cannons on the ship. Oh, it's 2 ends. Cannons on the ship.
Oh, so you weren't just doing it for the joke?
Oh no, I want them there. Yeah, no, I'm just bad at spelling apparently. Cannon
Well,
rolls.
the cannon you used is more for like, what is canon to our law, for example.
Yeah, I just realized that. Um, 4 unloaded cannons on the ship. There is a total of how many cannonballs would be on the ship and how many are in the cove, like hidden away, would you say? And they're like trying to restock them.
Uh,
Or maybe the ship is completely empty. There are no cannon balls on the ship. However, if the players search the cove, they can retrieve 1 cannonball per perception bonus they have. They can find, oh, not retrieve, they can find 1 cannonball per perception bonus they have.
when you say perception bonus, do you mean like total bonus to their perception skill?
Yeah. Oh, in that case, equal to their total perception bonus. Do we want to do it like that, or do we want to make it like a search DC?
I kind of like that.
Mm-mm-mm.
If with enough people, with 4 people, you could theoretically get like maybe like 12 to 13 cannonballs, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, I kind of like this idea because the more players you have,
Yeah.
because I've never liked the idea of one person rolling really well and you get like X amount, or all players rolling really badly. So this takes some of the random chance out of it, is what I think.
I think rerunning it like that makes a bit more sense readability wise.
Oh, yes. No, I like that more. So we've made the canon to our universe. Oh god, what have we done?
I mean, a cannon, like it's noted as a siege weapon. It takes 3 actions to use,
Mm-mm-mm.
so it is strong,
Do we want to
but
put
it's
that
not.
in the canon rules, like in the damage
Well,
and stuff?
it's actually noted. Like in the cannon rules, a cannon is usually supported with a wooden frame with wheels.
Oh, whoops.
Before it can be fired, the cannon must be loaded and aimed. It takes 1 action to load the weapon, 1 action to aim it, and 1 action to fire it.
Oh, yep. No, I did. For some reason, I thought that was the entire table because I was
Yep.
only looking at this one
That's the top
page,
part. Yep.
so I didn't see the
Uh,
rest of it. I didn't realize there was
yes.
more.
Yeah,
I
that's how they balance siege weapons by making it take multiple actions to use. So you
hmm.
need to use multiple people if you want to fire it rapidly.
I think the thing that makes it amazing in terms of like full damage is that it's got 400 feet range, which would have been terrifying to the Soagin.
Yeah.
Like you can't counter that really.
No,
So,
the cannonballs just go forever.
hmm. So I believe we're at the 1 hour mark, if not beyond it now. Actually, now I think about it.
And then I guess next time we plan the alternate route where we will end up having to fight the pirates out at sea.
Oh, we're gonna make that canon too. All right, everybody. Good night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And bye bye.
Ciao.